Okay, let's start talking about taxes. We are going to be using some charts, and I do have them up here. We'll take a look at them in a second. Here we have Dan Kane. He's an electrician, and he is married. He claims 3 allowances and earns $642. Now, allowances, when you have children or a spouse to support, um, you can take deductions out of your pay so that you pay less taxes. So when it says he claims 3 allowances, he's saying he has 3 dependents that he's taking care of, and so he doesn't feel he should have to pay as much tax, which is the way our tax law works. Okay, he earns $642 gross pay a week. How much federal tax is withheld each week? Now, they gave you access to the tables for tax tables to use for these questions. It says hint, use the appropriate tax table. So there is married and single. Dan Kane is married, and we want to also remember he has 3 allowances and makes $642. Okay, so I'm going to switch to our tax table for the married. Again, you want the slide for the married. Okay, so notice on the side here, this is for married persons. Over on this side, it has what your wages are. He made 642, so we want to get to the 600s. Here we are down to the 600. We want 642. Now 642 is going to be this column here, because 642 is between 640 and 650. Then you look across, okay? So in this row, let's look across. If I can outline the row, I will. It's kind of sketchy. Okay, so here is our row for our $642 earners. We want to go over to where someone who claims 3 allowances and find out how much they would have withheld. So notice here's the column with the 3 allowances. If we look down until we get to where his earnings were, notice it is $30 right there. So someone between $640, $650 in earnings has $30 withheld if they have 3 allowances. So there, right there is our answer. So Dan Kane will have $30 income tax withheld from his check each week. Okay, let's try another. Okay, now we have Angie. Angie Kim is an executive assistant. She is single. That helps knowing which tax table to use. But she claims 2 allowances and earns $440.65 a week. So when we're deciding, they want to know how much is withheld. So when we're deciding what table to use, we want to use one for a single person, and we want to have 440 in the range. Okay, so remember we're looking for 440.65, and how many allowances? 2. So let's take a look at our tax tables. They provide these for you. I'm using the same ones that they provide for you just to keep it consistent. Okay, you'll want the ones for single persons. Remember, Angie was single. Okay, she's single, and she has 2 allowances. So we're going to be looking at this set of numbers, but we need to go over and look at her wages, which, remember, her wages were $440.65. So as we go down here, the wages are on this side of the table. We want to go down to the 400s. We want to get to 440. She would fit in this row here between 440 and 450. So again, let's take a look. We're going to look across this row until we get to the column that had 2 allowances, and they come together right there. So it appears that she will have $32. That's the number that's there. It's kind of hard to see. $32 withheld. Okay, So really there's no math involved in those questions. It's just picking the correct table and then finding the number on that table.